So for these problems, we want to use a calculator to evaluate, and we want to round the answer to 4 decimal places. Now, the thing with when you're using your calculator, sometimes you let your brain go to sleep and you think to yourself, oh, all I have to do is punch it in. But you have to be very careful, because you have to think about the order of operations. So in particular, when we look at this first one, there is a subtraction in the numerator. And if you were doing this by hand, you would do the subtraction first before you do anything with the division in this denominator down here. But you've got to communicate that to the calculator. So there is an understood set of parentheses in this numerator, and we've got to make sure that that's in the calculator when we type this in. Now, similar to that, in the denominator, there is no addition or subtraction, but there is a division. So if you just type in the calculator, if you have parentheses here, divided by, something divided by, it doesn't understand that it wants you to do, but you want the calculator to do this division first. First simplify this, and then divide the entire quantities together. So you've got to make sure you have those parentheses. Okay, so now when we do that, we type it into the calculator, we have parentheses, now watch the decimals here, 2 divided by a 5.1 minus 1 divided by 8.4, end the parentheses, divided by parentheses 3.2 divided by 4.7. Okay, now, and we are supposed to round this to 4 decimal places. So I'm going to put an approximation, because it is approximately this answer, and I'm going to put a 0 in front of the decimal just to set off that where the decimal point is. So this is 0.401. The next place would be a 1, and the number after that is a 2, so I'm going to not round up and keep it as a 1. Now, just to show you that those parentheses are important, let me do that exact same problem, and I'm going to leave off the parentheses in the denominator. So 2 divided by 5.1 minus 1 divided by 8.4, all in parentheses, divided by, but now here I'm just going to do 3.2 divided by 4.7, and I've neglected to put in these denominator parentheses, and what do you know, it's a different answer. And that has to do with the order of operations. So you've got to be careful with that. So my kind of rule of thumb is, when in doubt, parentheses around your entire numerator, parentheses around your entire denominator. Depending on the problem, you may need other parentheses as well. Just have to pay attention. Okay, so here we have another one. This is very similar. This one has both addition and subtraction in the numerator and or denominator. So this one might be a little bit more obvious to put in those parentheses. It's when you have like a multiplication or a division in your denominator where it's tricky to remember to put those parentheses in. Okay, so the second one, parentheses, 1 divided by 2.5 plus 2 divided by 3.7 in the parentheses for the denominator, divided by parentheses, 2 divided by 8.2 minus 1 divided by 5.3 in the parentheses. Hopefully we don't have any typos in there. And we get our answer. This one is 17.0316, and again the next number is less than a 5, so I'm not going to round up, so I'll keep it as 17.0316. Okay, so again, parentheses around your entire numerator, parentheses around your entire denominator.